Because you got 18, I got 19, so this one's also going to be yours, so this will be 20.
All right, I'm taking your word for it. We're rolling with episode 20, party people.
Oh man, absolutely. God, I am rough as today. Rough as.
So
We
does
had
that
that.
mean no beer today?
Oh no, I'm drinking beer. Oh no, I'm on beer.
He's like, blimey, don't be fucking silly.
Don't be silly. Don't be silly, Des. Come on. Come on. No, we had friends over last night, so I did a full roast dinner. I used the smoker and smoked up a chuck roast as well.
Nice.
It was very, very delicious. Very delicious. So we got leftovers for tonight as well, so I'm look forward to that. But
I
yes,
must
anyway.
say, leftover roast is just bonza. Like,
Leftover. Well, it's the benefit of having a 3-day weekend as well, being in New Zealand, because we've got Matariki, so we've had a 3-day weekend.
oh, that's right. I was wondering why, because on Friday, yeah, because obviously the company I work for is really big in New Zealand, started in New Zealand, and we were trying to get all this stuff sorted, and they just wouldn't do shit for us. And I'm like, well, they're not even answering us. That makes more sense now.
Yes, that would be why, because it was Matariki. We've all been busy, sort of thing. I ended up going to the day. We spent most of the day in Auckland. You know, we went up. Ellie and Edward were booked into the Stardome to go for a free Star Planetarium show thing.
Oh,
so,
I was like, Stardome, is that like a stadium or something? I'm like, that's weird.
no, no.
I'm pretty sure we used to run most of the stadiums over there in my last company. So I was like, oh.
But yeah, so they had that, which was quite cool, and we went and see some friends before and afterwards, and then just came home, and we had a very nice, chilled day. It was lovely.
Lovely.
Dorks Down Under. Lovely jubbly. Anyway, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Dorks Down Under, episode 20 of season 3.
In theory.
We are cracking. In theory. It's a great theory, and we'll stick with it. We want to say a big thank you to all our recent subscribers and listeners. Please make sure you do like, follow, and share. You can find us available on all good podcast software, as well as seeing our beautiful faces on Spotify and YouTube at Dorks Down Under. Anyway. How's your week been, pal?
Yeah, well, it's been a couple of weeks, actually, because, you weren't
Yes.
doing too good last weekend either, so...
Yeah, I think I was a bit rough after having I was just not fit. I had a bit of a sicky week, like not a full sick week, but you know when you're not quite right all week. And I just got to Sunday and I thought I cannot be bothered. The last thing I want to do is do a podcast when I'm not feeling great.
No,
so I apologise.
No,
I apologise for letting you down. But yeah,
no, that makes sense. I mean, it is weird because I know last Sunday I got the flu shot before, and I was like I hate getting the flu shot. I've got the flu shot once, and the last time I got the flu shot, I got sick with the flu. So I'm like,
yeah,
I don't understand it. I don't catch the flu normally, but then when I get a flu shot, I get the flu. So I'm like, I'm not getting it. But then at work, because we work with like an aged care, we actually have to get it. So I got it.
No, that makes sense. So,
and and like you said, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I was feeling a bit rough. And my boss is like, "Are you getting cold?" I'm like, "I don't think so." I'm like, "But I have had the flu shot." And he's like, "Oh, okay, that's fine." But to be fair though, everybody in our office is coughing and spluttering and like.
I tell you what, the bugs are going around at the moment, sort of thing. I mean, I've been dodging COVID left, right, and centre with every site at work, sort of thing. So yeah, that's really ugly head around. So.
Oh man, it's crazy.
Busy dodging that. Between that and the flu, I think, and given the cold weather that's rolled in all of a sudden in New Zealand.
Only just now. Far out. This. So we're getting that polar blast, as they call it, and then the weekend actually looked quite good because the polar blast was subsiding a little bit, supposedly. It wasn't. So what happened is then we had a high pressure system come in, and then the solar blast changed direction and actually hit us. So then all of a sudden it was like, and it's freezing again plus raining. So it's been like 11 degrees the last like 5 days in a row. It has been horrible. So I've been literally watching movies like every day because rather than coming out of my computer, which as I've said in the past is in the garage, I'm like, it's just too goddamn cold. Like even with the heater on, I'm like, it's not worth sitting here because, like, though it's a little bit warm, you're just like, no, it's not worth it. So I've actually just been going straight to bed after Cherish goes to bed and just watching movies. So I've watched Blue Beetle. I've watched the new Jessica Alba one on Netflix called Trigger Warning, I think it was.
Okay. No, that's another one, yeah.
I saw Babylon AD with Vin Diesel because I haven't seen that in a while.
God.
I know. I just wanted to watch it. I was like, screw it. I watched all three of the RoboCops, like the old ones, because I was like, why not? I also watched the two, what was it? The two Sherlock Holmes after you had said that.
Mm-hmm.
And what else?
Great movie. Great. Those two Sherlock Holmes movies are just awesome.
They are amazing. And there was something else I watched. But yeah, I actually finally sat down and watched Blue Beetle. I'd started it about 4 or 5 times, and I'm just like...
Is it actually any good? Is it worth it?
I didn't mind it. I love that they got, being obviously that he's Mexican heritage, they got the Mexican family perfect. Mm-hmm. I love how they handled that. It was very much a setup film just to get to know the character. That wasn't too bad, but they didn't also... It was weird. Like, they didn't go into a lot of the Blue Beetle character, but they kind of did as well. So the idea is that there's this rich family. Blue Beetle is kind of working there, gets kicked out, is friends with the daughter because she goes to the club. He gets the beetle, it affects him, he turns into it. But then you find out that her dad was like the Blue Beetle. He was trying to unlock the power and become the Blue Beetle, but it didn't synchronize with her. So then you had a few of that. And then they've also, her stepmother has got like this, pretty much this exoskeleton that's like the Blue Beetle that needs to download the information from that. And it just felt like it was like a setup film. Like I felt like it could have been the first half an hour, 45 minutes of the film setting it up. Okay. The big bad guy was okay, but again, like I've said with a lot of the DC films, their big bads are kind of rubbish, so they don't really set it up.
They pick the wrong one. They always pick the wrong one. Like you kind of
had, I think it was like Susan Sarandon as the stepmom, who was meant to be like the girl that was doing it, and she was kind of like blah, which is sad because I love Susan Sarandon, amazing actress, but she was just like, she just kind of felt a bit like a bitchy mum whose husband has passed away, so she didn't really care about the kid as much, but still kind of cared for her. Like, it just fell a bit flat. And then the other dude was like this ex kind of like special forces guys with some scars and stuff. When they found him, he couldn't walk, and because of this exoskeleton now he can do it. But he wasn't really anything. Like, it was just like he
didn't.
Like,
okay,
I don't know.
Yeah. I might have to watch it. I'm going away, not next week, the week after, so I might maybe watch it.
I didn't hate it, but it did feel like you know when you watch like Captain America and you watch that, it has a lot more of a more adult theme to it. Where, from what I've been told with Hawkeye, with the Marvels, it kind of felt a bit more kiddish, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, it's because they're essentially setting up the Young Avengers sort of thing, which is kind of...
Yeah, but Blue Beetle's DC, so I'm like, I don't know why you're going down that road, but it does kind of feel...
I mean, to be fair, if they're gonna try and push the Teen Titans, Blue Beetle is a Teen Titan at some point. I can't remember exactly when, sort of thing. But he's not one of, he ends up coming in after, I think it's when Robin leaves. I think he comes into it, if I remember right. But anyway,
But the hardest thing is, too, though, is now DC's going the complete opposite way. Which is also the weirdest thing, because you're like, okay, cool, so now you're going the complete opposite way. But we did see the first shots of Superman.
Okay.
Have you seen that? So in the actual, on a lot of the social medias now, they're releasing pictures of the first glimpses of Superman, and Superman kind of looks a bit more old school. And I must say I don't hate it as much. Like, he's got the trunks on the outside, but rather than looking like undies, they kind of look a little bit like boy shorts, which is a little bit weird. He's got the cape. He's got the cape with the logo on the back, which is kind of awesome. He's got a newish style logo, but it still kind of has an old school feel to it. And
I'm trying to think which Superman he reminds me of, actually, because obviously there's been so many different versions.
I reckon it's Dean Kane's Lois and Clark. It has that kind of feel to it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's probably what I'm thinking of. So I think, apart from it's got like the modernish, it's got the modernish armor. Like, I quite like that. I like that it's not flat. It's just that it's not a flat blue. It's actually looks a bit of texture on it. So that's quite good.
Like, I don't hate it, but I still kind of feel like It does kind of feel like you've gone from the movie version, i.e., and I do think that Henry Cavill's was a bit too like gloss for my liking, but I do think it's almost this feels like when you've gone seen the movie and then they've like downgraded into like Lois and Clark, or it's like a TV version of it where they don't have as big a budget, and that kind of
interesting.
It kind of feels a bit like. Like, it's not bad, but it just doesn't feel as polished. Like, it feels like they're kind of taking a step back from some of the special events and a step back from some of that stuff. That, I don't know, it's a bit weird.
It's going to be, it's going to be interesting to see. Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what it's like, sort of thing. I mean, because obviously you're not seeing how it's moving with him, sort of thing. Yeah,
but I do think they got what's that? What's the guy that's with Superman? Oh my god, why have my mind just gone blank?
The guy with Superman. What?
The other superhero with him.
Oh, I don't see another superhero.
Oh, there's a guy with a T on his face.
Oh, Mr. Terrific.
That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah, it's Mr. Terrific.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He kind of looks cool, and I kind of don't hate that. But it does kind of feel like, and stop me if I'm wrong, but it does kind of feel a bit like that, seeing the screenshots and stuff, which is cool. Obviously, they got the guy that plays Darwin playing Mr. Terrific, which kind of makes me a bit happy because he kind of got shafted in the other one. But it does feel more like the Arrowverse than a movie.
Yeah, I do see what you're saying. All right. Ooh, who is that? It looks to be the bad guy. A big U on his chest. Oh no, they're not going to do Ultraman. No, you can't have you can't introduce the multiverse first film out. I mean, you could do, but yeah, Ultraman could be Ultraman. That'd be interesting. Anyway, we'll have to keep our eyes peeled on that. See what happens.
Yeah, so it is kind of cool, and I mean, it does say here that it could be Ultraman, but there's a whole heap of people that don't know. But I don't know. Like, I'm interested, and I'm like, at the end of the day, any superhero movie, whether it be Superman, whatever, we are probably going to see it. And it is one of those things that people, if you like that genre, you're going to see it. But it does kind of feel like they've kind of taken this massive step back, which I don't necessarily think is a bad thing. I liked Superman and the way they did things with Henry Cavill and stuff like that, but I do think they just made their superheroes feel way too powerful and their villains way too much of a bitch. But the problem is with DC, their superheroes are extra. Like, they are very powerful. They are very thing. They don't seem to have that human element, which is what I think Marvel had, and I think Marvel has played up to. But we'll see what happened. But yeah, and then obviously the other big news is that in Wolverine, the new trailer, we get to see the old school Sabretooth. Have you seen that?
Yes, I have. I saw it the other day, and I was like, "Ooh!" I thought, "Yes, thank you." Okay, they're going to give us old school Sabretooth because he did look good. He did look good. He just the character wasn't flushed out for the original X-Men. That's the only problem.
Yeah,
that was the one downside of that of it, and it went. The fact that they killed him off so quickly, it was like, nah.
That's the problem is that Sabretooth is like obviously a massive villain when it comes to Wolverine and that kind of brother-ish vibe, but when he kind of just goes, "Oh, I saw some lightning," Halle Berry goes, "Shocking," boom, sends him off. You're like,
scream,
and I'm like,
"You owe me a scream."
Yeah, I know.
God. Yeah.
But it was cool when you see him go, "Who's next?" and he jumps down. There is rumours though, and there has been people that have said that they don't know whether that scene is joined. So they're actually thinking that possibly what happens is we could have another big bad, be it. Some rumour is that it's the Hulk, which I don't believe so, but that would be sick if it was. So we finally see the Hulk.
We're talking about infinite timeline sort of thing. I mean, please give me the Maestro. Give me the Maestro Hulk. That's what we want. We want big bad evil Hulk. Yes, we want the Maestro Hulk.
So what they think is that they think that maybe when that scene happens, it's actually perfectly cut to spread it apart a bit. So obviously he takes out. So the rumor is, and it's only a rumor at this stage, is that what happens is that Wolverine, when Sabretooth jumps down, Wolverine dispatches him pretty quick and then yells out, "Who's next?" And some other bigger, badder guy comes down, which
Well, they've got. I mean, to be fair, with all the X-Men, X-Men baddies, they've got plethora of villains to choose from.
Yeah.
Like we've never seen Omega Red. We haven't seen Omega Red in any of the films, and he was awesome. Omega Red was. But then again, I would love to see that. I mean, the Wolverine and the Hulk always sparred and fought each other loads as well, because obviously the Hulk can't be killed and Wolverine can't be killed, and those were always really good fights, sort of thing. So that'd be interesting as well.
Yeah, but there has been some big things. So
we look forward to the end of the year, and hopefully we'll get some good info. Well, obviously Wolverine and Deadpool and Wolverine's coming out in
next month. Yeah, next month, isn't it?
Next month. Yep, next month. Looking forward to it. I was
going to say, and we also have The Rock's new movie that has just the trailer has just dropped.
Oh, dear Lord!
Right, which is the Christmas movie called Red One. And to be fair though, I've been seeing this on his socials for like 18 months. So it looks like he's been making this quite some time, and then it's gone into preview. It
looks awful.
It's a Christmas film. It's a Christmas film.
I understand that it's just going to be one of those Christmas movies that you put on, and it's actually going to be mediocre and decent, all right? And it's going to be one of those movies. You can already tell it's going to be one of those movies. But the fact is that I don't want the movie. Which producer got the script and went, "This is a great idea"? Because they need therapy. They need some serious medical professional help.
Yeah, I guess I don't know. Like I guess
it just doesn't make any sense to have that movie. It looks awful.
I don't know. I think it looks like a bit of fun though, but I think that's what it is. And one thing that I will say that I don't necessarily hate about it is The Rock seems to have toned down some of his rockness. Like, he's still The Rock and everything, but he doesn't seem as, like, it doesn't seem as much bravado and
This is the
wankiness.
other problem I have with it, is why does The Rock have to be involved in every other goddamn movie that I go to see? I don't want to see The Rock. I'm sick of seeing The Rock.
But it is true, though.
If he wants to be a producer, he can be a producer. I don't have no problem with that.
Yeah.
But stop being on screen every goddamn 5 minutes. I'm sick of it.
Well, this is the only film that we're getting of The Rock this year.
No, surely not. Surely, Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
No, because what he did was obviously while he was filming this, he was also taking care of the XFL, which is obviously the Extreme Football League over in the States. So he was actually doing a lot of that stuff.
Moana 2. He's in. Well, even though he's not on screen, he's in Moana 2 this year as well.
Oh, I didn't think that was being launched this year. I thought that was early next year.
Yeah, no. That's Moana 2 is coming out this year. God knows when. Does it say when? 27th of November. And so Red 1
it'd be like the 15th. So they're coming out like one after the other. Okay.
Yeah, so essentially there's going to be 2 solid weeks where The Rock is in the box office. Great. Fabulous.
To be fair, though, I think Moana is an amazing film, and I was actually well excited when I saw the second one.
Yeah, although I don't agree with the fact that they're already making a live action of it, this whole thing. I don't agree. I don't agree with that. It's like, fine, I understand that Disney are pushing this live action phase. Fine, got no problem with it. The fact that I'm getting a live action Lilo and Stitch, I'm looking forward to it. I haven't seen any of the leaks yet of what Stitch is going to look like, and if they get that wrong, there'll be big problems.
Oh no,
because Lilo and Stitch is one of my favorite Disney movies.
Yeah, no. And that's the thing though, is that some of these live action ones, I'm like I've seen, I think, all of them, but even then, I'm very blah about them, because I'm I don't need a thing. The only ones that I want to see is some of the obscure ones that didn't get as hyped, like Beauty and the Beast. Why do we need a live action one? Like the movie itself was beautiful. Lion King, I guess they had to try it, but I'm just it was just did we really need a live action Lion King when the original is as good at what it is? Aladdin, kind of the same. Aladdin was a bit more fun, but even then, you're like, eh.
Personally, I think one they should do, but I don't know how popular it would be Sword in the Stone. That's another great movie Disney I loved.
Yeah, but the problem is it just feels like it's more of the King Arthur stuff that we've got 100 movies on. The ones that I want to see are the ones that I think didn't do as well in the cartoons, because I actually think they'd be better in the live actions. Things like Titan AE, things like Treasure Planet.
I love Treasure Planet.
Treasure Planet and I think it's
good.
Milo's Return is a sequel. Were amazing films.
But Titan A, yes, I love that movie as well. That'd be sick.
But those three films didn't do great as cartoons because I think that they were aimed a bit young for what they were, and I feel like make them into live actions, give them like a second run, fantastic. But
yeah, well, especially as everyone is enjoying the sort of period-esque sort of things on at the moment, like Bridgerton and all this jazz. So actually, having Treasure Planet, which is period-esque, you know,
is it? It's more sci-fi. It's period.
It's sci-fi. It's sci-fi. Well, basically, Treasure Planet is basically the sci-fi version of I forgot the name of the book. Long John Silver.
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah,
but
essentially it's the futuristic version of that one, but it would be quite cool, I think. So I think it would be good to see.
But I think giving it to ones that maybe need that revamp, I'm like, yeah, cool. But like when you've got these ones that are such classics, like the new Snow White.
Oh, that thing's gonna crash and burn, given what that actress has done. Yeah, she is thoroughly screwed over her own movie by being such a blatant. Oh. She just winds everyone up, so I think she's shot herself in the foot, and it's not going to work for her anyway.
Yeah, which I feel sad for some of the other people that are doing it, like Gal Gadot and all that. But I think they'll be fine. But even then, you're like, people aren't looking forward to that. Like, I think there's going to be a select few that'll be like, yeah, she stands for all this stuff. I love this. But there's a lot of people that she, as you've said, is very grating. And I must say, like, I stand for, I believe in a lot of the stuff, obviously, regarding rights and different things of different people. But even when, it's kind of like you can be, say, for example, a vegan. When I was a vegan, like, but you watch these, like, vegan booty and all these random vegans and the way they attack people, I'm like,
yeah, it doesn't help the cause.
Yeah, like when you see them going into like
fair,
restaurants and throwing blood.
I couldn't believe the. Yeah, no, that doesn't work. I couldn't believe the controversy that they wouldn't allow.
Dwarves.
Yes, I was about to say the wrong word there.
Yes.
Thank you for stopping me. Thank you for stopping myself. But yeah, the fact that they wouldn't let dwarves go for the roles of the seven dwarves, it's like.
Well, I don't even know if the seven dwarves are even in there. That's the problem.
Oh God! They should.
Like, I think they got rid of that whole section, which is bizarre. And like, I remember watching. Oh, what was it? It was Brad Williams, a stand-up comedian, who's obviously a little person, dwarf. He goes, I don't care. But even he said, he goes, we have so many amazing dwarf actors or little people actors that are able to take these roles. Yeah, and there's only so many roles we can go for. And you literally went, no, we're not doing dwarves. You're like, bro, it's literally a film that has so many of us in it that it's literally perfect for us. And it's like,
the seven dwarfs are in it. But, they are not. in fact, one of them's even a female now. That's interesting.
Because I was looking at the cast and it doesn't even have it. It has young Snow White. It has Jonathan. It has dancers. But it doesn't actually have any dwarves as such.
Yeah, no, it's not going to work. Anyway, all right, moving on from movie beef, I actually wanted to discuss some beef I have with Niantic.
With who?
Niantic, the company who runs Pokemon Go. Words about this. Okay, so
I don't actually ever think I've heard that said out loud with what their company name is. That's what I'm like.
Niantic. Actually, I was pissed off with them for one thing, and I found out today that there's a lot of people pissed off with them for a completely different thing. Anyway, so the thing that has pissed off quite a few people, right? There's this new Masterwork research you can buy. I think it's $5, and you can get a shiny Celebi. Fine, great. You know, you go through all the long quest chain, blah, 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 blah. You do the 50 billion things. You get a shiny Celebi out of it, and it may even be, like, decent, high-level 3-star. Maybe even 4, you never know. Okay, fine. No problem with that. Apparently, if you completed this one random quest back in lockdown time, like from 2020, you are not allowed to access this quest. You're not allowed to pay for this quest.
What?
They will not let you buy it because you've completed this one random quest from back in 2020. Yeah, it is hilarious. I found that out today and I was like, why won't they let you buy it? Because it's not like it's a free... If it was a free quest, fine, yeah, okay.
And
yeah,
if you've
you
already...
can't unlock it.
Especially if you've already got the shiny celebrity, you're like, okay, cool. But yeah, that's really weird.
But they've said, no, you're not allowed to do it. And it was only randomly discovered because someone tried to buy it and they said, oh, you already have the ticket for this event. He was like, oh, do I? I didn't pay for it. And they went and had a look and no, the ticket's not there. And then they checked online with other people and other people are having the same problem. So it says, you're not ineligible to buy it. And so obviously people reached out to Niantic and Niantic set out a post saying, oh yeah, if you've completed this, I can't even remember what the name of the quest was. Or was it getting distracted by something? It's called.
Can you search your quests in Pokemon Go?
Well, no, they show. Well, on Pokemon Go, if you go to your completed page, if you go to the far right hand side, at the bottom you've got all your completed quests.
Yeah, but can you search them to see if you've done?
No, you can't search them. You can't search them. Sorry, I wish you could. I wish you could actually collapse all your completed quests so you didn't have them all listed.
No, you can. Like they're just small, aren't they? They're a single.
Oh yeah, no, you can't open them anymore, sort of thing. Once you've completed it.
So what's it called?
Oh, what was it called?
Distracted by something shiny.
Let's see. Pokemon Go.
Holy jeez, there's a lot of these.
Yeah. Distracted by something shiny.
Yeah, I've got that. I've done that.
Yeah, so apparently you can't buy the... I was able to buy one, so I'm wondering if I've got it. But anyway. But yeah, it is hilarious more than anything. So, but that's not the thing that cheesed me off, right? The thing that cheesed me off, right? It was mega requires a rare day yesterday.
So if you guys can see that, if I hit
you
buy...
can't buy it. Yeah, you can't buy it.
It actually comes up with... I can't even say, but it actually comes up with, you already have this ticket for this event inactive and complete.
Yeah. So but this is funny, because I'm actually now wondering, because I was playing, I'm sure I was playing in lockdown, wasn't I? I'm sure I would.
You might have been playing, but you may not have been active, or you may have just missed some of the minor quests because of it.
I mean, I'm about to say, where is it? Dark Flames. How far
far was it? It wasn't far down. Like, let me just have a look.
Hang on. Oh, so the further down... Oh, hang on. So, your completed ones go to the bottom.
Yeah, but okay. My something shiny...
2020.
My something shiny was like the fifth or sixth one down.
Ripple in Time...
2, 4,
20 minutes.
Yeah, mine's 7th.
No. I'm about to say, I've got Throwback Challenge Kanto, Johto, Mysterious Incense, Bug Out, and then I'm at 2022 sort of thing. So, I must have missed out on that. So that's the reason why I was able to buy it. But anyway. But yeah, I've just discovered... so that's pissing off loads of people. My problem is that yesterday was Mega Rare Quasar Raid Day, and of course then they said, oh, they're only going to hatch from Elite Eggs. Fine. I know that my town has 3 Elite Gyms, so I was like, sweet, great.
Perfect.
It's going to be, great. I'm going to go along tomorrow. There was a special raid quest, for the day. Oh, you got to go, you win a raid, and if you win an elite raid, and get some free goodies, blah, 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 blah. Excellent. Happy days. Found a bonus code, gave me a second set of things and I was like, oh, even better, get to double up on some items. Lucky me. Get to 12 o'clock, go into town, because I can't see the gyms from where my house is, because, it's a radius thing. So jump in my car, and because I'm using the smoker as well, so I'm like, all right, jump in the car, I'll run to, there's a showcase happening just up the road. I'll jump there and I'll jump into town. No raid eggs. And I thought, that's a bit weird. I thought, it's 12 o'clock. There should be an elite egg. There's meant to be. There was some legendary eggs and stuff like that, but not the Rayquaza elite egg. And I'm like, that's a bit weird. Went online, had a look. But luckily, I was still part of the Discord group in Christchurch when I was down there for the Mega Garchomp Day.
Yeah.
And someone posted saying, where are all the eggs? And I thought, oh, great, it's not just me. Fabulous, I'm not going mad. And luckily, one of the moderators responded and said, oh, due to the Niantic's publishing statement, they've not, there's a limited amount of elite eggs being released this time, so not every elite gym gets it. And I'm like, hang on a minute, I'm stuck at home today. I can't, it's not like I can run off to Hamilton. I was absolutely livid about it.
Because we had one that was like just over here, like near my house. But it's a pain in the ass to get to because there's a park, but you have to go all the way through the park, then down, and then there's like a football field on one side and like a little kind of what is it called? Like a community centre. But it's at the back end of the community centre where you actually have to go into the community centre to get into. But the problem is, though, is it was completely closed. So you couldn't actually get to it without somehow going around. So all these people, like I went to the park going, I'll have a look. And all these people like, we can't reach it from here. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, we literally can't reach it from here. So we tried to go around and skirt around and we couldn't actually get to the gym.
Oh my god, that's an absolute fail for you guys as well. I mean, so I missed out on loads of free goodies yesterday purely because Niantic said, "Oh, we're not going to give every elite gym an egg," which is fine. I'm fine with that. But why on earth? I've got 3 elite gyms. We've got like 4 or 5 gyms in our town, right?
Yeah.
Why is it that one of them can't have an egg? Especially as I've got 3 elite gyms, why can't one have an egg? Maybe not give me all 3.
You think you'd have it in certain areas. Like, okay, in this, say, suburb, there's 4 elite gyms. Put it in one. In this suburb, there's 3. Put it in one. Rather than being like... Because I guarantee there's probably places that had 3 elite gyms in their suburb and also got 3 elite eggs. Because if they're literally randomising it, you could actually probably have states that don't even have one in it because of the randomisation of it.
I mean, I don't know how they made... I do not know how they made the decision on it, but it was absolute horseshit in my opinion. Especially as, so I've missed... even though I've already got Mega Rare Quad, I've already got it. I was looking for that beautiful shiny black form. That's what I was looking for. Yeah. Because I'm desperate to get me a decent shiny one as well. That's what I want. Because I'm greedy like that. So yeah, but apart from that, so I was absolutely livid with Niantic, sort of thing. Luckily though, about to say, I am flying. Actually, I've reached level 43. I think I sent you the screenshot. So I'm doing very well. I'm very happy, and I'm cracking on with all my other stuff as well at the moment. So I think so. It's getting good on Pokemon Go. Although at the moment, I've been living in Hell Divers. I've got over 200 odd hours now in Hell Divers.
Nice. Well, what's weird though is I turned on Pokemon Go for the first time yesterday, and that was to go do that thing because one of the guys on some Facebook group posted that he was actually in this area and was going to do it. So I was like, oh, okay. And then I had a look and I was like, oh, sweet, there is one there. So I was like, sweet. So I said to Cherish, I'm like, I might nick out for half an hour. I'm just going to go for a walk down the road. Which normally means that she's like, yep, so you're just going to play Pokemon Go. And it's the first time I've opened it since I've got COVID. So for the first time in probably, I reckon, about 2 or 3 years, I've lost my streaks for everything. Because when I got COVID, I didn't play. And then when I first got rid of COVID, I was just exhausted and my brain wasn't working. Like I was doing just enough to be able to work and come home. Yeah. So I opened it for the second time and I caught a Pokemon. I flipped the thing and I was like, and it says 1 day. I'm like, oh shit, I broke my streak. Like, I reckon I've got 7 days, like, every single time, and I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, well, there's a medallion for that. I think it's like you've got to do it for 1,000, you get 1,000 streaks, I thought, something like that, to get up to platinum or some stuff like that. I mean, I got mine, I realised when I was in England, and I was like, what's this platinum? I'm nearly a platinum on this one. I had a look, I was like, oh, sweet, I did this, and I had a look, and I was like, it was a week and a half, and I was like, sweet, I'm just going to make sure I'm vigilant for a week and a half and I'll get myself another platinum medal, so I was happy about that.
Yeah, there must have only been a few times where I missed it and I was like,
you did. Oh, one thing that annoys me, and I've done it several times and it really cheeses myself off, when I'll either spin for the day or it's generally I've caught a Pokemon but then I forget to go and spin the gym. And then, of course, I go to the next thing. It's like, oh, yeah, you catch my Pokemon in the morning. It's like, yeah, great, fab. And then you spin the gym, and it's like, oh, day 1. I'm like, no, it should be day 4. The other one's on day 4. Why is this one on day 4? And then I realize, oh, no, I didn't actually do any spins yesterday. Oh, God. Oh. But then, luckily, I end up flying somewhere, and it completely ruins my streak. And I'm like, reset again. Yes.
So. It is weird, because I'm like you, where I like to be, if I'm day 3 in one, I want to be day 3 in the other.
Yes, absolutely. At all times, it's got to be the symmetry's got to be there at all times.
But it's just so
Yeah.
weird. But
But it's really. I'll tell you one thing that's really funny about Hell Divers now, because what I've done is I'm a level 82 or 83 now. Okay, so I'm not even near 150. I'm nowhere near 150 yet.
I was 150 the highest.
150 is the highest, right? I've unlocked everything on the ship. I've unlocked every gun. I've unlocked every. I've literally unlocked every stratagem. I've now, because I unlocked everything. I think with level 77. I was like, great. So I thought I'll just play them for fun. So I've now maxed out on all my 3 types of samples. So I've maxed out on all my common, rare, and super rare. So I've got maximum of that. I've got maximum requisition slips.
Far out.
What I've been doing, because I've been bored, I was realizing I was going to max out on medals, and then I wouldn't be getting anything for any medals. And I was like, well, I suppose I'll start filling out all the pages of all the war bonds I've started. Because basically, if you went through all my war bonds like a couple of levels ago, they were just, I was buying the guns and the bits I wanted, and then moving on to the next page, and that's all I did. And then once I had unlocked everything, the stuff I wanted, I then ignored the war bond and left it because I didn't care, because I didn't want anything else. And I'm like, yeah, fine, no problems at all. I've now started unlocking. I'm now maxing out all my war bonds. I've maxed out the main one, the free one that you start off with. That's gone. That's completed now, and I've unlocked out of the 5 DLC war bonds. I've unlocked 3 of them. I've maxed out all 3 of the 5, and I've only got 2 more to do.
Damn, son.
And then at that point, I'm going to be like, sweet, right, okay. And then once I've already realised what I'm going to do now after that, because once I've done that, I'm then on the point of just spending super credits to unlock the pay-to-win armors, even though they're not pay-to-win, but you can only buy them from buying them with credits.
Yeah. Oh my god! I can buy. Oh, I might be able to buy Hell Divers 2 for like $31.
Sweet, if you do, yeah. The only problem is at the moment the friend list isn't working at the moment.
What?
Which is really yeah. No. I don't know if it's working for Steam players. Like, for example, the problem is at the moment they had to deactivate it because it's causing a lot of crashes. So the fact is, if you're already like the way I found a cool group the other day that I was playing with them. I've played with them for a few times now, sort of thing. They're in America. Because we're all on PlayStation, we all just added each other on PlayStation,
which makes it easier, yeah.
Which is easy, sort of thing, So when I see they're online and all that jazz. But if I want to play with someone on Steam, I think they can invite me, but I can't add them to the friends list yet.
What?
Sort of thing. So because it was causing crashes because obviously it's a cross-play system, and the servers weren't serving basically, and it was causing. So they said, right, we're going to fix it, but we'll deactivate it for the moment. But obviously, if you've already played with someone, you can sort of see them, but you can't add them. Sort of thing.
That makes no sense sometimes. Like I'm like.
But I've got a feeling. I'm sure I heard one of them say the other day is that because one of them was playing on Steam and they added the other person.
Yeah.
So I think Steam players can add people or send requests, but PlayStation can't at the moment. So I think unless you're adding via the PlayStation Network, sort of thing. So
that's weird.
But yeah, it is a bit weird.
Because I am very tempted to get it. Like
I'll tell you now, it's a great drop-in, drop-out game. Because the fact is that it's just every day. It's if you want to play, you play, and it's like some days I'll get on and I see the personal order because every day you have a little daily quest. To complete it, you get 15 medals. Great, right? You have a look, and so most of the time I'm having a look at it, and I'm like, I could do that really quickly. Okay, right. I'm not going to do level 7 because I don't want to play with other people. I literally will play on like level 2. Which is the most, and the fact is that I feel it's hilarious whenever I think about it. The fact is that I'm landing, and I'll bring the mech, I'll bring the mech, and laser bombardment, and literally, it's just like if this is like real life, it's like the Doom character rocks up to an army, and they should go, oh god, not him, run. It is. It's just so funny to play it when you play like that. But it's also great because when you play at level 2, because obviously I'll jump on, and like other random players will end up joining me, which is fine because it's like, yeah, I don't, because at level 2 they're not going to affect anything. I can run level 2 all by myself.
Far out.
You know, I'm just taking them along for the ride most of the time. But yeah, and it's just literally, they like, if they're really low level, it's like, oh dude, you know, you level 10 here, and I'll throw them the mech. It's like, yeah, jump in.
Have some fun with it, kid.
They do, and it's hilarious how as a community, it's not just me, loads of people who play it. Once you've unlocked all this stuff, if you end up playing with a really low level player, it's like, hey, here's the guard dog rover. What is it? Just put it on. Oh my god, it's killing all of them. Yep, that's great. That's what its job. It's doing its job. It's flying around you and blowing and killing everything. That's what it's meant to do. But it's really quite good. But I do love playing with low level players and do bump them up and help them, sort of thing. It's hilarious when you play with them and you're like, oh, do you want to run a level 7? And it's like, yeah, let's run a level 7. All right. And then you land and like, oh, what on earth is going on? It's like, yeah, welcome to level 7.
I'm just dying.
Well, what's really funny, right, is Arrowhead they released a massive update recently. Okay. One of the changes is because a level 7 was the lowest level you could earn super samples, which is the purple ones.
Yeah.
And to unlock the better ship mods, you need the super samples. People were complaining, saying that level 7's too hard. Okay? Because they were playing solo, and I get it. Okay, playing solo, it was hard. Okay? But no offense, just play with other people. You could get it done, and yes, it worked. So I ended up going through the normal route, but what they've done now is they've said, right, fine, you can now find super samples on level 6. So they've put him into level 6. But in my opinion, they've done it wrong. What they should have done, because what you could do, at level 7 you could earn 3. If you found them, you could find them on the map, you could earn 3 if you got them out. Fine. I reckon at level 6 they should have said 1. If they want, make them work for it, right? You know,
100%.
They should have said, yeah, it should have been 1. No, but now they get they can have 3 they can have 2 at level 6. Whereas at level 7, if you play it randomly, every now and again on the map, you could earn 4 now. So they've actually rewarded level 7 players like myself. Although it's hilarious how the grind of getting super samples was a grind, right? Because I'm trying to get ship unlocks, I'm trying to get this and that, and it was hard. And it's hilarious once you've unlocked everything on the ship. Oh yeah, casually you're extracted with 30 samples across all the types. And it's like, seriously, how easy is it once you've unlocked everything? It's like the game knows. It's like, oh yeah, we can just start dishing them out like candy now.
That's what you want, though. That's what you want.
Oh no, I'm really looking forward to when they finally give me something to spend my samples on. I'm looking forward. I'm gonna have a field day when they go, oh, here's the, because we know they've got some things in the works, like some vehicles, which I pray to God that they make me use up at least half of all my samples in one shot for one vehicle. Just make me spend it. You know, make it worth it. Because honestly, if they go, because I know that they're also going to bring out some good modifications. So whatever gun you run, you can buy attachments and improve it and customize it how you want. I already know that those are going to be like, oh, it's 10 commons for this and 5 for this, and they're just going to. And I already know that my favorite gun that I run all the time, regardless if it's the bots or if it's the Terminids, is going to be souped up. I'm going to buy everything I can for it.
And just go mental.
Oh yeah, it's such a good game. But yeah, at the moment it's just hilarious that I'm keep running with all these different people who I've been playing with on and off, and it's just funny. You know, most of them are American, and it's just like they get very weirded out when I'm talking. Obviously, because I'm speaking in a British accent, but I'm talking about New Zealand, and they're just confused.
They're like, I don't even know.
To be fair, one of them, I was like, "Do you even know where New Zealand is on the map?" And they went, "Oh, don't you start." I said, "Don't come at us like that. How dare you?"
We don't, but just shut up.
Just shut up. It was funny, but yeah. So Hell Drivers and Pokemon Go have been a big thing. The only other thing I've been doing this week is me and Elle, we started watching with the boy, and then the boy got distracted, but I didn't want to watch any more of it. We watched the latest Percy Jackson and the Olympians on Disney+.
Is that the TV series, or is that the movie?
The TV series, yeah. And oh my god, it is good.
I've read the books. I read the book. I don't know what it was. I honestly think what happened was, I think when I was going to Canada, I'm going to say, I didn't have a book with me at the time, and I was like, I was flying from Melbourne to Abu Dhabi to Toronto. Don't do that. That was fucked. It's 15 hours to Abu Dhabi and then 16 hours to Toronto with a 4-hour stopover for somebody that can't sleep on flights.
Oh yeah, no, I know exactly the pain you've gone through, brother.
I got to Abu Dhabi and I said to the guys, like, listen, bro, do you take card? He's like, unfortunately, if it's not obviously a Dubai card, we can't take it. I was like, okay, cool. If I'm going to get currency out, because I don't know the currency, I literally just want the biggest coffee I can humanly get from you. And he said to me, he's like, it'll give you amounts, just select the other one. It's the equivalent of probably like, say for example, like $20. And to be fair, it was. Yeah. I think it was about 16 Australian dollars. And I was like, fantastic, not a problem. And I said, bro, I just want the biggest coffee you can have. And he's like, you sure? I'm like, seriously, bro, I've been up for 16 hours. I'm not going to sleep in this airport for the next 3, and I'm not going to sleep for the next 15 hours. And when I get there, I'm getting there at like 9 in the morning, so I don't want to sleep. Jesus. So he's like, okay, cool. And he brings me out this thing that has 2 handles on it, one on either side because it was so big. He carried it out like with the big black tray. Had to put the big black tray and had to remove it with 2 things. And I'm not kidding you, it was about this big. And I was like, thanks, bro. And I said to him, and I'm like, so obviously I paid for it, and I was like, how much do I have? He's like, you got enough for another one and probably a croissant. I was like, fantastic. And I drink this thing, and it was surprisingly, it was an amazing coffee. I got a double shot, well, not a double shot, but a double volume cappuccino, and it was amazing. And I said, and then I went back and got another.
Could you suddenly understand quantum mechanics?
I can already understand a little bit of quantum mechanics weirdly, so it's probably not too bad. But I drank this, and I was like, fuck, I needed that, because the coffee you get on the flights are obviously horseshit.
Did you see The Matrix?
Oh no, but it wasn't that strong. Like, it only had like 7 shots of coffee, and for
oh Jesus,
like, I'm somebody that when I was working behind a coffee machine, I was drinking on average between 16 and 18 shots of coffee a day.
Dear Lord,
I have a slight addiction, okay, which is why
there is an addiction and a half, my friend.
Slight addiction, which is also why when I left my last job, my old HR manager gave me this coffee cup. and she goes, it's kind of funny. And to be fair, I've drunk coffee out of it multiple times, because it's actually a really nice sized coffee cup. I just put some instant black coffee in there and it goes well. Or I get my little diagonal coffee that I fill that up. It's an 8 cup, and 8 cups perfectly fit into that cup, and I love it.
There you go. God,
and that cup was probably half the size of the one I was drinking to buy. And then I went there and I was like, can I get another coffee, and do I have enough for a sandwich? And he's like, yeah, bro, you got this. And then he ended up giving me some change, and I said, how much is this? And he goes, I'm asking because is it rude if I give you this as a tip? And he said, you don't have to tip us, but he goes, it's the equivalent of giving us like, say, $4 or $5. And I was like, yeah. I'm like, so it's not rude if I said keep the change? And he's like, no. He goes, to be fair, any bit that you give us isn't rude, but yes, you it's not. I'm like, we're
not going to get into trouble for taking it. Yeah.
I'm like, but I'm like, I'm also not leaving you like 25 cents and feeling like a complete.
Oh
dick.
yeah, no, I get what you said. It was really funny when we went through San Francisco. When we went, was it? Yeah, it was when we were going out. So when we were going out via San Francisco, of course we landed. We got I think it was 2.5 hours to wait. So we did our check-in thing and blah, 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 blah. And literally, so we go through, we got a couple of hours and we're like, should we just go have a beer and get they had a bar, but they also had a little cafe bit attached to it. So it was like, yep, great, fab. We can get the boy a brownie or whatever sort of thing. And I'm just going to have a beer while we wait sort of thing. So, Elle got her coffee, Eddie got himself a snack. I'm getting myself a beer. Happy days. Now, I went to pay for it and went to dip the card. And I said, oh, I need to give you a tip. And she went, no tip. And I said, hang on a minute. I said, I've watched American movies since I was a kid. I know that it's tipping culture here. She went, oh, no. At the airport especially, it's all built in the price, so you don't have to tip. I was like, Okay, great, fabulous, no worries. But of course, so I'm sat down, but of course, I felt sorry for this poor girl because every person, unless they were actually American, every foreigner was, oh, I need to give you a tip. She's like, no, you go. And I was sat there and I could hear her.
Yeah, going off 1,000 times. You're like, oh my God.
And I just felt so sorry for her because she's like, I fucking hate the movie industry.
Yeah, I was going to say, or there just needs to be a sign saying, listen.
Honestly, I kind of thought to myself, I thought, why isn't there a sign up just saying, FYI, you do not need the tip?
Yes.
Because it's all part of the service. It's all part of the pricing, blah, blah, blah. Which would have saved her 1,000 different explanations of the tip.
100%. It would have been so much easier. But
it was so funny. It was really funny. But yeah, it was just like, no, I need to tip. I know I need to tip. Yeah. I've watched movies since I was a kid. I know I'm to tip.
Well, that's weird though, because I've been to America and obviously been to a number of the airports, and I'm pretty sure I've always either left a tip or something.
It was just one of those things, but yeah, she just said, oh, she went, no, it's okay, don't worry about it. I was like, all right, no worries. So I sort of stepped off, but Percy Jackson and the Olympians, really good show.
Yeah. Sorry, that's where my story was going, because I completely forgot. But when I was flying just before I flew into Canada, when I was in Melbourne, they had the box set of all three. And I love ancient history, as a lot of people know. Big fan of it. Studied it in high school. Wanted to actually go into uni until I realised that I can't become Indiana Jones. But loved it. And I'm like, this sounds really cool. And it was a very kids book, but I have read the first three things. And one of my friends said, if you like the books, you'll like this. Because the movies were very we'll take the characters, we'll take some of it, and then we'll just go completely left to centre. Where this supposedly is almost like the first book just written out. Yeah,
the problem I have with the movies, because I've never read the books. I haven't read the books. Hands up, I've never read the book. I'm probably going to read the books now after watching this series. It was really good. The issue I had with the movies, because one thing I was aware of is the Percy Jackson, he's meant to be, it's similar age level to how they started off in Harry Potter.
Yes.
So when I saw late teens in the movie, I'm like, hang on a minute.
Yeah, wait a goddamn
minute. I haven't read the books, but I'm fully aware that this guy's meant to be a little boy. That is not a little boy, sort of thing. And the fact is, it was too adult from the start. And I get what they were trying to do, because they were trying to maybe just age up, just ever so slightly, just age it up a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can understand why, especially the second one, why that one fell flat so badly. But the TV series, really good. The one thing we liked about it is literally some of the episodes are around about 35 minutes long.
Yeah.
So it's like watching an anime. So suddenly, you get into it, and then suddenly it's like, oh, we can watch one more. We can just watch one more.
That is the most dangerous thing about streaming services. And I said this to a friend. I'm like, as much as I love streaming services, there is literally that danger of just it's already started. I need to get to bed in about the next 15, 20 minutes. This only goes for about 30 minutes. And then you're like, oh, actually, there's only 2 more episodes. I may as well finish those. And then you're like, oh, that twist at the end, I better watch the first one. And before you know it, it's 8 in the morning. You're like, this sucks balls.
Yeah, so, seriously. So what happened? So we watched the first 2 episodes with Ed, and we thought he was enjoying it, but he said, I think it was a couple of days later, because obviously I was at poker one night, and then he had rugby training another night, so we ended up sitting down to watch it, and he was like, oh no, I don't want to watch it. I didn't enjoy it as much. I went, I did well. Well, me and Mum enjoyed it, so we were like, well, we're watching it.
Yeah.
And literally, so we started watching, and then next thing we know is because of course they're so short, and it's like, oh yeah, next one. And we're having some drinks and everything else. And then we finished episode 7, and we're like, right, we'll end it there, because it's ended on a cliffhanger. We'll watch the last few episodes, because we didn't know how many episodes there were. And we're like, oh, we'll watch the last few, another night, because it's half night. I think it was 9:30 at night, and so we get to that time for bed-ish. So we just saw, literally Elle said, just say how many episodes are left. And of course, went out, there's 1 episode left, and I was like, well...
That's the danger point.
I said, Elle, you can't do anything to stop this now. And I literally just pressed play. I was like, and she was like, I'm not going to even be mad at you for it.
It is true. It's just easier to be like, screw it, I'm going to watch the last episode.
Because we'd just done so many episodes bang, 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 and he was just like, oh, because otherwise we already know what would have happened, right? We would have both gone to bed, we would have gone showered and everything else, and we would have gone to bed going, wonder how it's going to finish.
Yeah.
We would have gone through the motions and then gone back through anyway. We were just cutting out the middleman bit.
Yeah.
That's all we were doing. So,
I do say that to friends. I'm like, sometimes it is literally just easier just to be like, screw it.
Oh, but as I said, the fact that they were like, you're talking a 30-minute episode, so it's like, oh, it's the reason why I love anime, because the fact is it's 20-ish minutes. When it's 20 minutes, you're like, yeah. It's like, oh, I can have another. Oh, I have another. And then next thing you know, you haven't realised you've watched 13 episodes back to back. You're like, oh, Christ.
That's the weirdest thing. So I can't remember. I'm pretty sure I sent it to you, but there was this comedian that I was watching. I think it was like just reels on either YouTube or Instagram, and it came up, and it was like, yeah, I studied from the Church of One Piece, and I was like, what? And she was talking about how she did One Piece in 6 months.
Oh God!
And I was like, fuck off! There is no way. And then she goes like this. She goes, each episode's 22 minutes. Well, we'll say 20 minutes to make it easier. That means there's 3 episodes an hour. That means there's 9 episodes in 3 hours. Everybody here has watched Endgames. And I was like, that's true. And they're like, even if you wanted to, you could technically watch Endgame at least every night. Every night. And I was like, when you think about it, you put it on at 6 o'clock when you're making dinner.
Finishes at 9. Yeah.
And you're like, that actually makes sense. And then she goes, and you could do that every day. And I was like, you could do that every day, technically. And she goes, so that's 9 episodes a day. You times that by 7, and then she's like, that was, what was it? It was like 63 episodes a week. And I was like, okay. Which means that's like 240 or there was 250, I think. You could literally do One Piece almost in 4.5 months. Oh. And I'm like, that's fucking doable. Like, I was like, that's actually doable. Like, let's give it up to our Messiah, Straw Hat Luffy. Like, that could be really doable.
Don't get me wrong, right? I enjoy One Piece as a show. It's really good. The only problem is that the normal anime has so many filler episodes. So many. I know there's an order you can watch it, and you can skip through all that. You can just skip through it, and you don't have to have all the extra filler, because most of the time the filler doesn't do anything. Okay,
yeah,
it's just they're doing this today, and I get, but it's just I've never been a big fan of filler story.
Yeah,
ever. I just do not see the point of it. I understand when maybe they have to have an episode that explains this traumatic bit of someone's past, and that is integral to fighting this next boss. Get that, fine, that's an episode we can have, but all the rest of it, we're doing this today for no reason because we can't think of anything else to animate. That drives me absolutely bonkers.
Yeah, I know. And I get that, but you're just like, but still. But I mean, and that's the funniest thing is it puts a lot of stuff into perception. You're like, actually, we could do that in theory. You're like, this is going to get out of control very quickly if we do it this way. Like, damn, like it's so doable when you think of it that way. Where you're like, that's true. Like, even if you have dinner at 6 and you finish dinner at 6:30, you're like, okay, cool. It
does work that way, but yeah,
it's kind of clever.
Anyway, I've just realised how long we've been rambling on for, so we're gonna cut it short there, ladies and gentlemen.
and that's because he's like, damn it, he goes, I need to go back and watch the whole heap
and
of
I'm out of
film.
beer. There is that as well. I am also out of beer, so I need to go get myself sorted. But anyway, much love, ladies and gentlemen. We want to say a big thank you to all our recent subscribers and listeners. Please make sure you do like, share, follow, subscribe. You can find us available on all good podcast websites, as well as seeing our beautiful faces on YouTube and Spotify.
The old podcast.
God knows what we're going to be discussing next week. I have no idea. And
have you seen Trigger Warning with Jessica Alba?
No, I've not seen Trigger Warning yet. Sort of thing. That hasn't even popped. I've just had a quick look on my Netflix, and it hasn't even popped up on New and Popular. So I don't know.
Oh, really?
I mean, I assume we're in the same region technically. between Australia and New Zealand. Surely we're in the same region for the broadcast. But then again, maybe New Zealand's on a different wavelength from the thing. Because generally, whenever you discuss something new and popular,
June 21st it comes out.
Okay.
So it's Jessica Alba for getting back into acting a little bit more after doing Spy Kids 4 and stuff. But it's... I feel like you watch it because...
I've searched it, I can find it, but it's not... it's not in the new top 10 or anything like that, which is a bit weird. So anyway, alright, I'll have to have a look at that and see what's going on.
I must say, I did not hate it, and Blue Beetle's the other one where... I must say, I didn't hate it. It was just very different to what I expected it to be, and I think there was just some things that I was like...
Yeah.
I don't know, it's almost like they kind of went a bit too...
Oh, I'll tell you one thing we did watch, actually, just as a quick end of the episode. We watched Mother of the Bride last night, which is god-awful.
Mother of the Bride? Isn't that like an old, Stephen Martin?
No, you're thinking of Father of the Bride. This is basically Netflix's remake of Father of the Bride.
But making it with a feminine lead.
Yeah, and it's awful. It's got Brooke Shields in, in Brooke Shields, Miranda Cosgrove. Benjamin, what was his name? Benjamin Bratton.
Oh, yeah. Benjamin Pratt. Yeah.
Yeah, Benjamin Bratt, yeah. So he's the main male lead in it, which is interesting. But yeah, it was a terrible movie. Terrible, absolutely god-awful movie. Good for a rom-com, but yeah, it was awful. All thing. Anyway, much love and peace out, people. And make sure you like, do, share, and subscribe. Bye.
Layers.